All right, guys, welcome to the Wake Up Real Estate Show for what is today? Monday, June 26th. You might hear some echo here. I'm sitting in a big old empty house in York, Pennsylvania, making the summer move. We're going to make this a short show today. Josh is out doing some baseball stuff with his son. I'm busy here in this move, and I'm just going to do a quick mortgage and motivation Monday. We'll jump right in, just take a quick look at the rates, and then I have a little bit of a mortgage around the numbers around lead generation. Jordan might pop in here in the next few minutes. I'm not sure. So go ahead, comment below, say good morning, do whatever you want to do. If you have any questions or comments about anything you're working on that you want me to look at today, we can do that as well. So let's go ahead and bring up the magic screen. Nope, not that one. That one works. Looking at the mortgage rates right now, they are down, I thought. Let's go back a little bit over the past week. Sorry, guys. So yeah, the 30-year fix is down a little bit. We're still there under 7, 15-year 6.3. These are national averages, of course. The chart is something that my eyes always go to. You know, I like to trade a little bit and look at charts for technical analysis. And as I said in the recent week or two, it feels like a double top. I don't know. It's like voodoo magic. TA technical analysis, but it feels like we're gonna hang out here a little bit, and then hopefully we go back down on the mortgage rates. That's just if you believe in the voodoo technical analysis of all the things, and don't pay attention to anything else that's going on in the world. So anyway, tell your clients mortgage rates are down there in the high 6s. Remember this particular site, mortgagenewsdaily.com. They're like one of the first ones to pop up if you check mortgage rates. They have a lot of cool tools, just to remind you. So if you ever need something to post on social, or if you need to send an email out to your list about mortgages, there's all kinds of great stuff in here that you can just click on. Like you can just take a screenshot of let's go to the mortgage calculator widget, for example, and let's see. So I was trying to do one. Here we go. The mortgage calculator itself. You could play around with this and say, did you know? This would be a good social post. So say $350,000 house at today's interest rate of 6.9 or whatever. At a 30-year, did you know this? So you take a screenshot like I'm doing on the screen, copy, you run on over to your Facebook account. Hopefully I'm logged into Facebook. Here, it doesn't make me sign in again, right? So current mortgage rates, current look. Oh, wait, no. Did you know a 350K 30-year fixed mortgage at, stop it. Mortgage at today's rates, about 6.9 national average. Great. We'll run you about, and then I'm going to paste a screenshot here. What was it? 2305, about 2,300 a month. And is that before taxes and insurance? Yeah, it should be right. Before tax and insurance, right? And you just post that. So there's your social post of the day. You can do that any day with mortgage interest rates. You can grab a news story. We like to do the social post of the day, of course, just to remind people that we're in the business in our wider sphere, right? They remember we're in real estate. Good morning, everybody. So thanks for the morning comments. So that'll be our quick mortgage rundown. Again, this might be a super fast show. We might be under 5-10 minutes today. I hope you guys don't mind, and we'll get back to the normal swing of things. But the second thing I wanted to do along the motivation front was to talk a bit about just Google lead generation numbers in general and what the ROI can look like on these. The math, we'll call it real estate math lesson for motivation. But the math on this stuff is just always super exciting whenever I look at it. And it reminds me why this business is so great, commission rates being what they are, and, the average transaction side. The downside, of course, is always we got to wait months and months to get paid a lot of times, to get our business going. If you start out today and you're a totally new agent, it's realistic to think, hey, by the time I actually get paid for the first time, it could be 3 to 6 months down the road. But at the same time, those commission sides are really healthy. And then when you start to think about, as we do here, your marketing and lead generation, and, think like a typical business owner, if I put money out, how much is going to come back, right? Money out, money in, whatever. The numbers are really exciting. So what I have on this sheet here is a look at this Google ad campaign I'm running in Miami that I've talked about in the last few weeks. So the landing page and I'm going to show you this just because I like to brag, honestly. I'm not being humble here, but this landing page is converting at about 15%. And that's good for Google traffic. Anything over 10%, I'm happy with on a Google click. And I'm getting some motivation. Most people are checking off, I'm looking for a second home. I'm getting first name, email, and phone number, which is optional. We talk about the optional phone number a lot because the optional phone number means somebody wants to give you the phone number. We're not requiring it, and they're giving it to us because we're saying we'll text you the Miami condo deal of the week every Friday. Now, I have this campaign only set at a very small budget relatively. It's only set to $10 a day. It's gotten 41 clicks, a conversion rate of 14.63%, six leads at $12.82 a lead. I'm rounding that number up to 13 for the purposes of my math right here. Right, so and 13 is a little higher, but Miami is a little higher. Miami's probably, after San Francisco and New York, one of those high ones, right? Parts of California, so it's up there. So if I'm paying $9 in Central Pennsylvania, right, for a lead, or like $8 in Louisiana, like I expect to pay $13 for a Google lead and be pretty happy with it, especially if I'm getting the phone number in on Google. So when we look at the math here. 6 leads at 13 per, and we assume a 1% conversion rate. Now, 1%, guys, that's 1 in 100. We can all do that math real quick, right? That's 1 in 100 people. And thinking about what these folks were doing, they were on Google searching Miami condos. I'm only running this to it's like a handful of keywords. Miami condos, condos in Miami. It's like 5 keywords, right? Very short tail, direct match type stuff. If they're searching that, I gotta think that 1 in 100 is an okay conversion rate, especially if I have the phone number and I know a little bit about them. They're answering that first question about their motivation. So can I do 1 in 100? I think so. Whether it's them or somebody they refer me, if I call everybody within a day, right, and I set them up for property alerts, I send them all the Miami condos every week. I just do the basic follow-up stuff. So that means that 1 in 100 at $13 a lead, that's a $1,300 cost per sale, which might sound a little pricey, $1,300 cost per sale. But if your average deal size is $500K, and I couldn't find the blended Miami deal size really quickly, but I know it's 500 is probably on the low end, for a condo in Miami. I'm just going to say 500 to $1 million. So at 500,000, we'll do 2% for our take-home commission side. So assume you're getting 2.5, and then I'm saying you're on an 80-20 split with your broker, right? Most of us are somewhere in that kind of range, that neighborhood. Maybe it's 3%, maybe 2.5% on the side. And then usually we're around 70 to 90%, right? So that means on a $500,000 deal, we're at $10,000. That's a 7.69 return on our investment. Now, I realize whenever I do these walkthroughs, I always want to say, I realize you've got time invested too with that buyer, and you've got stress and all the other mess that goes into doing a real estate deal. So I'm not discounting that, but pure, investment of financial dollar out to generate that money back, a 7.69 return on investment is pretty awesome. Even if you have that because of your time invested, you're still getting a lot more out than you put in. And then if you do an average deal size of $1 million, as does my friend Gustavo, who I'm running this campaign for, he mostly only does stuff for whatever reason, the way he does his business, he mostly only does stuff over $1 million, or in that neighborhood. I'm pretty sure. So for him, when he does a deal, he's looking at more at like 20,000 on the low side, and he's looking at a 15.38 return on investment. So this is Motivation Monday, and I guess the motivation would be you gotta be willing to spend for a while and go into the hole. You might have to go 100 leads here before you even are out in the car showing somebody condos. Be ready for that, right? That might happen. But I think most of us probably are on our credit cards even, right? Or dare I say, in our tax account. Let's not go there. But let's just say most of us could probably run 200 leads here on a credit card we have laying around. A lot of people could, right? If you're a risk taker, I'm not saying to go max out your cards for this business, but business is risk taking, right? So could you go 100 or 200 leads deep on a Google ad campaign, knowing that I'm going to call every lead as fast as possible, I'm going to do all the right stuff on follow-up, and feel comfortable that, yes, I am going to generate a 1% return, on 1% of these folks. Now, if you can get 2 out of 100, 1 out of 50 people to engage and do a transaction on you, then it gets really exciting. Can you do 3%? I would argue yes. the best of us can probably do 5%, right? So 1% is very conservative. Motivation Monday, keep spending money on whatever lead source makes the most sense for you. And focus maybe on that lead source would be my kind of high horse today. Like, is it Google? Is it Facebook? Whatever it is, don't quit on it. I cannot stop this campaign at 6 leads. And I see people do this all the time. I've done it. Oh, I spent $100. Like, none of these people picked up the phone. This is a lot of our attitudes because it's a short-term thinking. You can't stop it. You need to let it run to at least 50, but let it run to 100 leads and see what that gets you, and go into the endeavor saying, okay, I'm going to go $1,500 into my business here, $1,300 into my business. And I'm going to stick to that. And I'm going to make sure that the way that I make sure that I get the best return on investors, I'm going to be very diligent about my follow-up and everything else. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I know most of you guys have seen these numbers, but I don't think it's something we think about every day. Google, you're going to get a better percentage than Facebook because of the intent. I've been more and more of a huge fan of Google as of late because Facebook's always messing around with the algorithm. A Google campaign like this, I can kind of I know that I can leave this at $10 a day for the next year and expect the same numbers. Because the way it's just always the new people who are searching. It's not showing the ads of the same people over and over again. It's always fresh blood coming into the campaign. So yeah, comment below. Let me know what you think of this exercise. Other than that, unless there are any questions from you guys or anything you need today, like I said, we'll just keep this short. Quick little Monday, mortgage and motivation. Josh will be back tomorrow, hopefully, for Texting Tuesday. If not, I'm not gonna. I think he should spend that time with his son. Right, we're here in the summer doing baseball. I'll come up with a cool text to send. Maybe it'll be a little wacky or off base if he doesn't show up. And also, I called Josh out. For those of you who are Friday, I think he's not here today because he didn't want to do the time-lapse video of him working out. So for those of you who know him on Facebook, call him a chicken or something. Send him a message. Say, you chickened out, and we know it. And we're going to hold you accountable, Josh, to that sped-up exercise video that you promised. So Sold says, do you help us set up Google Ads? I can. If you're a co-marketing partner, we can. We've done some videos about this process. Well, one of the reasons I'm doing more of these campaigns is because I would like to get to a point where I can build this quickly for you guys. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Like, this is a very custom campaign. So I'm building it, you'll notice, on the same domain, the Propertunity Knox domain that we always use. And part of that is to have the underlying infrastructure to be able to deliver these. But yeah, reach out. I'm not going to promise quick action. We're kind of in summer mode here. I'm moving. Josh is out. We've got a ton of people signed up for V-Qualifier who are waiting for things from us. But yes, if you would like us to help, let us know, and just be a little patient on the setup. Give me a few weeks and I can get around to that. And of course, the expectation is that you're going to actually, turn on the campaign and spend a little bit of money on it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to put all that labor in, right? So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Mike's only here. Mike's not here to actually work. You just want to see Josh's video. So yeah, so but not to sidetrack anybody. If you've got good leads coming in from your open houses, from your Facebook ads, from other sources, if you're paying for Zillow ads or Realtor.com, don't get sidetracked and just jump over to Google. Keep the bigger thing that I'm trying to communicate today is that if we stick with one lead source, these numbers can look really good, whatever that lead source might be. So thank you, Soledad. Thank you, everybody else, for being here today. As usual, the site is wakeup.realestate. If you're not already a subscriber of our site, we have a lot of resources there. This Wednesday, I believe the featured mortgage webinar will be about non-QM loans. So if you go to Wake Up Real Estate, let me go to that actually, over on the right side. This topic that Josh is doing this Wednesday with Jordan is a very good one. The featured strategy webinar at Wednesday at 2 is about get this back up here, the non-QM mortgage programs. And these, for my mind, are the best way to kind of generate business out of thin air, because it's the non-conventional stuff that people don't even know they can leverage. Like the loan I used to get to the house I'm sitting in right now. It was a no income, it was asset-based, no income, no employment. A little bit higher interest rate, but stuff like this, we probably wouldn't have done this transaction just because of our situation if we hadn't realized that was available to us, for example. And you can kind of share these non-QM programs with your sphere of influence and kind of drum up business. So Josh and Jordan, maybe I'll hop on Wednesday to talk about that. And I'm just doing the plug that I'm supposed to do at the end of this show. So now we can leave safely, and have a great Monday, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for Texting Tuesday. Have a good one.